Let me go hit up Instagram, let them know that we coming in live real soon. I even had some music. Don, I updated the sound effects too. Got some
Oh
sound
no.
effects.
How do you do that, man? Is that on the oh, we'll talk about it later, I guess.
No, it's cool. You can talk about it now.
Yeah, man. How do you do that? Is that like through the Opus clips or is that through the actual like YouTube setting itself?
It's actually through the StreamYard.
Oh, okay, okay.
How's everybody doing
Okay.
today? Kind of a
Doing
Oh
cold
yeah, yeah.
pretty
opening.
good.
If you're joining us this evening, welcome, welcome. We're glad that you're here. Thank you for tuning in. Even if you're watching the show a little bit later, that's great. We would love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Give us a hello in the chat. Say hi, and we encourage you to get involved in the conversation. Let's keep it
Yeah.
lively,
Keep it lively. Like
civil, but lively.
Isley Brothers. Like the Isley Brothers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Um, how was everybody weekend though?
All
It was
right.
pretty good, man. We went out to Pomona, had some Korean shaved ice, and then went to like this park. And I
Nice.
like wanted to walk up this trail, but I kind of like was complaining a lot because I was tired and didn't want to walk up this big ass hill. But besides that, it was great.
What
It was
is
great.
Korean shaved ice?
Yeah.
What is
It's like
that?
Hawaiian shaved ice, but it's Korean style. So it's a lot more thinner and fine grained. It's almost like actual ice, itself, like from like it's snowing as opposed to ice like shaved
Interesting.
off of like a
Hey,
block, right? So I
Okay.
had never had it before. I've only had the Hawaiian ices, which are awesome if you guys have had them,
Yeah,
right?
I've
Like
yeah.
I've never heard of Korean shaved ice.
yeah, try it out. I don't know. You probably got to get on Google to try and find them. We drove out to Pomona for this one. It's like, or Chino Hills rather. So we were on the
Mm,
freeway for an hour
Oh
to go
yeah.
get this. So
heck no.
it was worth it. Oh, it was worth it. Oh
Man,
man.
you done spent a
Well, good.
lot of money for the shave ice, I'm sure, and gas.
Yeah, gas. Yep, gas.
Yeah. No, I just came back from Pomona today, dropping my kids off for the spring break to their grandma's house. So I get it. That traffic. Ooh, it's like an hour going there, and then you got
Hmm.
an hour coming back.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But shoot, it is what it is. You know, you got to do what you got to do.
No.
Um,
What about Bobby? How was your weekend?
yeah,
You
Bobby,
always
what
got
was
an
up?
active weekend.
I kind of had an active weekend. Yesterday after we got out of church, not we, I barbecued. We barbecue a lot at our house. We cook out a lot. So I made some beef fajitas and chicken fajitas, homemade guacamole, pico de gallo,
Mm,
rice and charro beans.
nice.
So yeah, and
That
we had
sounds good.
leftovers today. I said I am not making a new dinner. I chop up that fajita and I made quesadillas for the kids.
Hey, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Still making turning one into two. Turning one into two.
Y'all are gonna eat this freaking beef because this is expensive fajita right here. So
Eat that beef.
All the beef you can get, right?
Right, right,
mm-hmm.
right.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah. That's great. My weekend was really, really chill. I went to a seminar at my church, about an entrepreneur, finance, debt management, and real estate. It was pretty good. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
great.
I'm glad that my church did something like that. I believe the churches should be doing stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Not just the churches though, but I mean, you got a lot of people in there, so I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure. And those are areas where people should be able to get that information for free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We should all be talking about financial management because everybody at the end of the day needs some financial discipline, learning how to budget, manage your finances. Those are all positive things, even if you're not associated with the church. Still a good form of information just to use
Definitely,
daily,
definitely. You
especially
know
on
what
the
I'm
real
saying?
estate. Real estate's always up, always a good business to get into.
Man, and they were talking about reverse mortgages. I don't know if you guys familiar about that.
Reverse
Nope.
mortgages.
I'm not a homeowner.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. In the event you become a homeowner and you get up there in age where you probably still have a mortgage, but you also probably won't live to see the end of that mortgage.
Mm,
The reverse mortgage pays the owner of the house back out of their equity that they have in the home. And so, like, say for instance, you're going to die in 5 years or something, or you're going to die in 10, 20 years, and you paid off your house. well, not paid off, but paid half of your house off, you can be pretty much get an income from that mortgage every month. So instead of you paying your mortgage and now your mortgage is paying you, and then when you expire or RIP, what ends up happening is your children have the capability of um, buying the property, and they get it at 95% of what the value or what's owed on the house, as opposed to um what is as
Left
opposed
on
to
the mortgage,
yeah.
left
Well, I
on the
mean, you get a
loan.
5%. You get 5% discount off of the mortgage, the full total mortgage. Um, or if you can't, if nobody want to own it, keep it and take it. Then what they end up doing is they ended up going into probate, and then if it goes not probate, I'm sorry, it goes into the state, and then somebody can buy a house for pennies on the dollar.
If
Hmm.
the state even wants to get rid of it, once the state has it, they can do whatever they want with it.
They could,
Technically,
yeah, they could, but real estate is not my zhish, so I can't tell you too much about it. I did learn some stuff though at the seminar about IRAs, because it was a young brother from the church, and I remember him when he was just running the audio in the church, and it was good to see that younger cats grow up, graduate from college, and then they go out and get a career that can actually help educate the people who supported them, which I think
yeah.
is cool. Cool. Yeah.
Here's a heads up for some real estate. Something I have been learning because the lady, she's got some properties that she manages in Ohio, though it's in a whole nother state. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
get receipts and make sure that you have someone keeping track of what's going on over there for you for your taxes. Because if you got someone else who's managing your properties because it's in a different state and they ain't sending you the right documentations, like of how much stuff is costing for home repairs and whatnot, they might
Yeah.
be trying to shiest you. So
Yeah.
homeowners, beware.
Oh yeah, I'm a homeowner. I trust you, trust and believe. I totally get it. You know what I'm saying? But your it seems like your lady is into like she's like real estate investing, right?
Yeah.
So she has multiple properties.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she got a
that
couple. They're in
yeah,
Ohio,
that's
all in like the same general neighborhood too. So
yeah, that's dope.
well,
I think I'm gonna get into that in probably a couple more years. I'm
it's
getting into
cheap
the
out
real
there,
estate.
man. Buy property. Yeah,
Well, I'm just trying to buy property, period, whether it's out there, because now I saw something on the news about data centers. Y'all familiar with that, right?
sure.
Um, People are buying like properties or trying to buy properties to build these data tech centers.
Mhm.
Um, and some people are like, nah, I'm not gonna do that to my property. I saw it on YouTube last night. They approached this one lady who had the house in her family for I think for like over 200 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And she was like, no. And they offered her $26 million. And the lady, her thing was this property been in my family so long that you know she plans to make sure that her grandchildren's children be able to have a place that calls them their own. And I'm like, that's unique.
yeah.
That's unique. You know what I'm saying? $26 million for a data center to come buy up the property. I think it's crazy. I know, Bobby, you was talking when we were talking during the show about the minerals, right? From what was that show? We were talking about
From Landman,
Landman. Yeah.
right? The mineral rights and stuff. And so with the data centers, about 30 miles, probably heading, I don't know, west of where I live is a city called Castroville. Castroville is beautiful, beautiful. Another small country town, just kind of like mine.
Hmm.
Um, but because they've grown up so much in that area, the area has really developed over the last 5 years or so. It's become a hot commodity. Well, a friend of mine owns a few acres out there, and we were at her house a couple of months ago, and she goes, "Look at that over in the distance." I'm like, "Ugh, what is that?" She just looks at me and she's like, "A data center." I was like, "What is that doing out here?" So they bought up somebody's property out there
Hmm.
in the country and put in a Microsoft data center.
Wow.
And so she is going to be making sure to go to all the board meetings and stuff, because a lot of times when some of these data centers get put out in this area, it can increase the output
Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't affect that.
required to
Yeah.
run it. So that means additional electricity having to run, possible outages, and also using water to cool the servers. And when I asked her about it, she said that when the lady had come by to talk to them,
Mm-hmm.
that she had told them that what they're doing is they are recycling the water that goes to the data centers.
Mm.
But I'm always really skeptical about stuff like that because you might make it sound real pretty, but then there's
Right.
always some detail, right? The devil's in the
The
details
devil's in the
down
details.
there.
Look, if
We
any of
had
you guys out there in YouTube ever experienced something like that, click in the comments. Let us know what that's about because you know what I'm saying. To me, I like to learn more information because I was thinking like, hey, if I can buy like 4 or 5 acres and then somebody hit me and say, look, you want $20 million for this piece of land over here? I'm like, go for it. But then I'm also thinking like, I don't live over there, so I don't really have an emotional attachment to the land. However, there's people who do live over there. You know what I'm saying? And it affects their, like you said, their input, output, etc. Right?
this is
That would
a
be
great
crazy.
this is a great conversation because I purchased my first home when I was 21. I was making $10 an hour.
Look at
That's a
you.
that's a conversation for another time. Everything is going to come down to money management. I may have had a
Yeah. Homeowner. Homeowner.
home, baby, but I hardly had any food. Okay,
You was house rich.
I was
House rich.
what was that? No, I was house broke.
Oh, house
House
broke.
broke. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
house broke. Anyways, that's beside the point. Now I'm living in my fourth property and stuff, so I've only been owning since I was 21.
Oh
And
wow.
so this home that I live in, we moved out here to the country to, get away from folks.
Yeah.
However, with the current state that I think our real estate is in right now, when I
Mhm.
moved out here, if I went down to the very end of my street, um, there's nothing but cows. I go out
Right.
to this main little side back street highway that we would take to get into town, and now there's no more cows. And
Oh.
unfortunately, it kind of goes down to something just what
Oh,
you mentioned about the property being in that lady's family for 200 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think that people now, like maybe our generation, just aren't seeing the value of the property. And if somebody comes knocking on your door saying, "Hey, listen, I want to put a subdivision in this area. I understand you've got 35 acres. Do you think I can just have 15? Can I
Mm.
buy this plot of land from you and I'll give you 30 million roughly
Mm.
for this?" And they go out and
deal.
they the subdivision. Yeah, I mean, you're talking millions of dollars. If I think going back to when I was 21, if I would have kind of known the state we were in now, I
Right.
wouldn't I might have not purchased a home. I might have just purchased property,
Mm.
you know?
Well, you
And
know what I'm saying? The good thing about it is life comes in cycles.
Yeah, it'll just
So
drive your property up. You'll make more money off of it in the long run. People are going to want to move in to try and get those jobs and be hired for those jobs.
I've thought about that, but one thing that I fear is that people are going to end up taking on those, taking on those deals. And before
right.
you know it, it's no longer country. Now it's become the outer city limits,
Yeah.
and it's not quite what it is. And I like my towns.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me. Sorry, excuse me. But you know what I'm saying?
What else do we
Yeah.
got?
But you want to know who ain't got no problem with property? But he keep
Oh,
flipping over, and I ain't talking about in aerobics. Tiger
mm-mm.
Woods. Tiger MFN Woods. Okay. Tiger has been in the news for one being in a bad accident, right? And then a couple of days later, I think his PR people had to get ahead of something because we were like, wait a minute, what? That's all they know.
Mhm.
That's all they know. Next to find out that he was in a accident as a driver's under the influence individual.
Mhm.
Now, I had so many ways, so many things I wanted to go with this, but I wanted to keep it civil and keep it unbiased, I should say. But what do you guys think about that? You know what I'm saying? Celebrities, especially being worth $1.3 billion, catching cases.
Jeez.
What do you
Oh,
guys
those green jackets, man. Those green jackets made them rich.
think? Of course. And green jackets made everybody who wear them rich. But what is your take though about the responsibility of driving and then being that rich where you really still driving or
Bobby,
whatever?
you want to go first? You look like you want to go first.
Come on, Bobby.
So he got money. That man don't have to drive any anymore in his life. But to truly get behind the wheel of a car when you know somebody else, you could call people. Hell, he probably has people on hand. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's got people I know that work for him that could always be a DD. He's always got a DD on hand. If you're going to day drink or whatever time of day it was, you should be at least smart enough, especially if you can, afford it. What's that?
This happened during the daytime?
Oh, I heard about it during the daytime, so I'm making that assumption, but I don't remember when the accident happened. But I do remember the PR came in very quickly. I don't want to say brush it under the rug.
No. They would never do that.
But seemed like they tried to get a handle on it pretty quick because I could have sworn somebody close to me was like, yeah, I think he got arrested. I was like, he got arrested?
What?
Now, I don't know that for sure. I don't know that for sure. That's what he.
Oh, he got a mugshot. Brother got a mugshot.
Oh, okay. All right. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I was like, what is this man doing out here playing these little games? You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Not the right ones.
You're too rich to be playing these games. Pay somebody to be your driver, dude.
Yeah. He thought he was above the law, probably. That's what most of these rich people get. After a while, they start to develop a complex of thinking, oh, they're going to know who I am. They're like Justin Timberlake. There was just some video released of Justin Timberlake. He got pulled over too for drunk driving and didn't even know who he was at first, right? He had to radio in like, who the fuck is this guy? Anyway,
Good. Humble them real quick. No, I don't know who you are. Let me see your driver's license.
Yeah, I see all types of videos on YouTube of these, even if it's just like an elite like governor or a mayor or a city council member, they all think they're above the laws. But you're right, Bobby. First thing I thought was, where was his driver at? All these guys who I see driving around the Brentwood areas and whatnot, they're very seldomly, I don't see the actors driving their cars. I see the doctors and the lawyers and all them driving their fancy cars. But I assume that it's those special vehicles that most of the celebrities are in, right? The big freaking SUVs that I always see driving 10 miles underneath the speed limit. Anyways, yeah, like where was his driver at, man? They're supposed to have designated drivers. Maybe he was going to pick up a girl. Because that's what he's normally known for, right? In the news, he's normally known for the.
Oh man,
he's a promiscuous man, Maybe he had a couple drinks. He's like, man, let me go hit the strip real quick, see if I can find anything nice to take home to the place and act like a wife. And who knows, right? Who knows? Tiger Woods. He's old.
Tiger Wood, y'all. Tiger Wood. Let me just say this.
Say it.
You guys are 100% right. When you have that type of mind, you have the type of, I don't even want to call it just money, right? Access. You have access. You're worth $1.3 billion, right? All that will be taken away. God forbid you crash into somebody and took somebody's life, right? And I'm not saying that a life has a value on certain people, but let's just say you crash into a judge, right? And that judge has a wife that's a lawyer, and that judge dies, and that lawyer knows every extent of the law. Tiger Woods, you probably will be sued down to a piece of wood, because here's the problem. You know what I'm saying? I think that millionaires and billionaires who be able to learn how to obtain that much money, it's a rule of discipline. We said it in the beginning, right? You got to be disciplined, but also you got to have common freaking sense, bro. You got millions of dollars. Why are you drinking and driving? Like, you got millions of dollars.
Resources at your fingertips.
That's why he's drinking and driving.
DD. And for those who don't know what DD means, that's designated driver, right? Because for a person who was a child prodigy, he was a child prodigy. I'm looking at some of the things that I pulled up, but you got to be stupid for you to be worth $1.3 billion and you driving drunk. Okay,
it's not going to cost him that much. He didn't get in no car accident, did he?
No, but the fact is, he
Yeah,
could
he's
have.
gonna go to court, pay a fine,
Yeah, well,
get in
you know
his
what I'm
car and
saying.
drive home.
But this ain't his first time. He broke his leg on the
Oh,
last one in 2022. Okay,
oh, okay, okay.
you
I
feel what
didn't
I'm
hear about
saying?
that one. Oh yeah, he probably
He
lose his
got great
license.
press. Great
Yeah,
press.
This
Press.
yeah.
You know
isn't
what
even.
press does? They
This isn't
press the
about what.
issue down so nobody can see it.
You get 10 points on your record. Once those 10 points are gone, you lose your license. So that's for anyone.
This ain't even about what happened at the crash. It's about what could have happened, because a
Right.
lot of times we see these drunk drivers get behind the wheel, and those jerks survived the crash while somebody else who was innocent ends up passing away. And I
Yeah.
mean, that's
Yeah.
not fair
It's not.
at all.
Nope.
It's not.
We see that time and
Yeah.
time again.
Right.
Yeah, don't drink and drive because you might kill someone. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I just
Think
think
of
the
that.
fact is, um, yeah, this we know that 2 weeks later we won't hear nothing about it. Hell, this happened last week, and it's almost. I was like, you know what? I had to Google what was trending to talk about something that I because I
Follow
didn't want.
TMZ, bro. I started following TMZ. I heard about that, and I heard about the Justin Timberlake thing. All I,
Yeah, man. But see, that's the thing. I'm limiting myself on social media this year because of the fact that I'm really focused on some goals and social media, boy, especially just being in the space that we're in as a pod. It gets daunting. Like, I do not care that Kanye West brought out another album. I do care about the people who wrote on it though, because those are my peoples. You know what I'm saying? But he put it on YouTube where the way he did it was, and for y'all don't know, this is some game that's gonna change your lane. As if an artist put his music out on YouTube with a video and streaming, that's added revenue for that artist and that artist alone because of the fact that it's being streamed there until it becomes on a streaming platform. The people behind the artists, like the writers, they don't really get compensated. And why? Is because of the fact that yes, the artists want to build a buzz around the music, and the number one streaming platform, the number one searchable platform, and the number one ad revenue platform is YouTube. So they're gonna put everything there. Like he had, I don't know how many songs he had, but each one of those songs had over 2 or 3 million streams, right?
Dang.
But that's only going to the person who managed that channel, and it's his team that managed that channel. So yeah, and I mean, it's like that's a whole nother ordeal. You know what I'm saying? But I say that to say this: back to the people, back to the Tiger Woods situation. And you know what I'm saying? We're gonna touch on another billionaire real quick. But to Tiger Woods, I think you really, and if you're listening to me, I doubt he watches the channel, but if you do, if this happened to get on your feed, grow the F up, grow the F up, hire somebody. All right. You know what I'm saying? You are not above the law. You're not above everybody's life. You bleed just like me, homie. Real talk. And if you was, God forbid, if you were to get in an accident and hurt anybody of my kids, we'd have a problem. We'd have a problem in a situation that I would not be happy about.
Yeah.
Just keeping it real in 1,000 with you. But that's my pickles and 2 cents on that situation. What you got, Don?
So yeah, I feel like you guys do about Tiger Woods. You know, it's upsetting that, people with wealth think that they could get away with stuff. It's even more upsetting to think of people who drink and drive in multiple cases, right? Like I've been a drinker and a driver. In fact, I drove drunk quite a bit. I've been very fortunate to not only have not been caught, but to have not hurt anybody as well. So, it's just a part of life sometimes for some people, but there are the consequences. And I have been very fortunate to have not been someone who caused an accident and caused my life or someone else's life to end, or even, get like a damage to a vehicle to make someone have to pay for their vehicle, right? So I've been blessed, I guess, if you call it that, or fortunate, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, if you get drunk driving, man, you should pay some consequences for that,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Look, I agree. You know what I'm saying? There should be some consequences and repercussions. You know what I'm saying? Take away. I mean, look.
Most people
My
go to
thing
jail,
is,
or
yeah,
they at least like,
just take away his
hmm,
license. Take
yeah, you
away his
lose your
license
license.
forever. You got you got $1.3 billion. You can go
Yeah.
buy a car ride share company. Just take away your license for the rest of your life. You don't need it. You don't need it. You
Mhm.
got people on standby. That's what I think.
Now, personally, for me, I hope I'm in the area with Tiger Woods driving drunk and he does hit me because the payout on that, oh my, and I'm taking all of his money. I will have Tiger Woods' money,
Uh,
literally.
well, I
I'm
pray that you live.
just kidding. I'm just
You just
kidding.
said,
That's my
he.
cynical opinion on life sometimes, like, yeah, I got a truck. I might survive that.
Yeah, I just pray that you live, brother, because you know what I'm saying. This dude clearly this is third accident driving under the influence and getting away. Yet he's still able to go out on that court, that golf course, and perform. And speaking of perform, 30 years in the making. One of my favorite artists, I would say probably he's definitely in my top 5 artists. Jay-Z did his first interview in a long time with GQ. And he
Ooh, what was
had
he talking about?
well, he wanted to go ahead and just clear the air about a lot of things, right? The situation that happened with those lawyers saying that he
Did you talk
um
about Diddy at all?
no, he didn't.
I'm sorry.
His team is very crafty, very smart and intelligent. They maneuver around that, but he did talk about how 2025 was a hard year because of the fact that he went through that acquisition from that lawyer that claimed that he had something to do with one of the ladies that said that he molested her and something. And then they found out all the timelines because obviously he's a billionaire. He was like, let's go ahead and get this legal team put the work that they probably pay $1 million a month for their what is it called, their the
The retainer
retainer.
fee.
Yeah. So he talked about that. He even mentioned on the beef about Kendrick and Drake because Jay-Z is over the urban music department of the NFL. And with them talking about that, he was like, he picked the person who had the best year. A lot of people felt like he sided with Kendrick because Kendrick Lamar did the Super Bowl. But I think what happens is people have biased opinions about their artists, and just like with any sport, like right, you got a Laker jersey on. Well, that is Laker, right?
Yeah, it's a Kobe jersey.
Kobe
Mhm.
jersey, right? And I
Mhm.
have a Laker hat on. We're going to be biased to our, saying to the cultural backgrounds we have. But he was like, I'm not biased. He was like, this is hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But also he said something that made me think a lot about how he viewed hip hop in his older age. Because Jay-Z is 52, I believe. And he said that, it got a little out of hand with the beef because kids got involved and um people got people got their it like the people when it was when it's a rap battle, it's usually between the artist and the two artists. Now you threw people, family in there, you threw babies in there, you threw careers, allegations. Hell, you even got lawyers involved, which I think that was just really like, come on now. You know what I'm
That was
saying?
that was his white flag. I give
Right,
up. I'll let
right,
the
right.
lawyers take care of it from here.
Right. So when it got to that, it's like he was like, I don't think battle rapping helps move the culture forward. And I had to disagree with that because if you think about it, Ice
He
Cube
battled
know
against
that.
Nas.
Yeah, that
And
part,
hypocrite.
right? You know what I'm saying? Ice Cube, no Vaseline. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Nas and him, Ether. You also had a lot of people didn't know DMX and Exhibit had issues.
Right.
There's beef if it's contained in its proper container where it doesn't go to the streets, like what we saw happen with the Biggie and Tupac issue. You know what I'm saying? It's good and fundamental, but also in the same breath, it's like he also mentioned like the four components of hip hop are going. Like he was like the Olympics now have breakdancing. He was like, that ain't culture, but I have to disagree with that. I just think that hip hop grew up, but it still kept its element. And there's other people across the world that celebrate our culture to the point now that it's an Olympic sport. Now, is it corny? Maybe. Because some of them people don't know how to pop lock. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, right. But
What was that lady's name, man? That poor Australian. Never mind. Poor Australian lady.
right. But you know what I'm saying? Then there's the element, there's the DJ, right? And he mentioned, like, you know what I'm saying, the DJ had a bigger presence right now. DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince. You know what I'm saying? What's his name? Eric B, which is the DJ, Rakim. He made that, you know what I'm saying? But then he was like, we don't even know who's like Drake's DJ. I'm like, I don't even know why he said Drake's DJ. I don't care about that. But the DJ is still a thick element, because shout out to Playgrounds, the YouTube channel, because they are taking DJ to the masses. If you guys ever get a chance to go over to the YouTube channel Playground, you will go and see a whole different side of DJing. So I think hip hop just grew up, and some people just don't see all the elements inside of it. They just see what they're used to. But
Good point.
you know what I'm saying? I feel like when some people get real high in them towers, they look down, they can probably spot, oh, that's a person, but they don't know who that person is. Why? Because they too far up to identify who they are.
Mm.
So all I'm saying right there. But no disrespect to Jay-Z. I just think that he missed it on that one. But that's my opinion, you know?
Yeah. A good opinion.
What do you guys think?
What do you think, Bobby?
I think that some of these individuals have just lost touch with reality. But as far as the battle rapping, I think that's kind of crucial to the culture. It's what we know. Everybody knew about. Even if you weren't listening to Big and Tupac, you knew that there was beef happening between them. It was just kind of coincidental that they passed away in a like fashion, not long one after another. But the Kendrick and Lamar stuff has just gotten, it's funny. All right, it's comical. I don't like what you said about me, so I'm gonna go get my lawyers, and you need to stop talking about me like this. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Don't be a baby.
Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Bobby.
Sorry, I don't know if that's helpful, but that's just what I was
thinking. Yeah. I'm saying, for real. But your point, Don, what you got on that, brother?
Man,
I'm sorry, Bobby, was you done?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's fine. Go ahead, Donald. I want to hear what you got.
Let's stop caring about Jay-Z a long time ago, man. Like, I don't give a shit what Jay-Z says, man. Once I realized that he got rich off of making music, teaching me how to make and sell drugs, so my viewpoint has changed on musicians a little bit now that I'm older, because I'm looking at, like, man, the music he put out, was it really great, or were he just fucking destroying society? Like, but he hasn't done anything.
And he cheated on one of the most beautiful women.
Yeah, like he's not doing anything productive, man. Like, I mean, he's doing stuff that's productive, but it's all for him, right? He ain't doing. Let me see a Jay-Z library somewhere or something, like, can we get the Jay-Z park somewhere, and and some Jay-Z recreational sports for the youths, like, I don't know, man. He's wrapped up in so much stuff, and his wife, and they're just, yeah, it's all about publicity for a lot of these people. And Jay-Z, get up there, he's a hypocrite in a lot of cases, so it's hard for me to listen to these famous people try and tell me about life, because it's like, man, y'all stopped experiencing life a long time ago, man.
Yeah,
at least my type of life. So I don't hate on him, Jay-Z, do your thing. It's just I'm not paying attention to him. I don't pay attention to none of these guys. Like, I should start paying attention more to 50 Cent, because he's making power moves and doing shit, but like, at least he's doing something that's new, man. Like Jay-Z, last thing he did was, like, I don't know, he's doing sports stuff too, I guess. I don't follow him anymore, so I don't know what he's doing. His wife be
Well,
doing witchcraft though, man. So that kind of weirds me out too, man.
hey, you know what I'm saying? I don't know about that, but this is what I would
Illuminati
say.
lifestyle.
You know what I'm saying? This is what I would say is this real talk. When you have made an impact and a substantial financial impact in your life based off of the audience that you serve, I see he has some. I've done the research. He does have some charities. Like he has he has a foundation every year. He gives 10 million to people for to kids actually for a scholarship fund. I think it's 100,000 per kid. So that gives like what's that? 100,000, and he gives 10 million out. You break that down, how many kids get that? And it's for them. It's a full ride scholarship for their education. It's in his mother's name. And then he also has a tech startup, venture capital company that he does these things. The only thing about it is that's not what's getting highlighted. And he brought entertainment back to the NFL to the point where people is making an impact. But my thing is this: when you said what you said about hip hop, I'm like, ugh, really though, really, like the b-boy, very much important, still important, right? Who's at the party playing your music? The DJ. Who's dancing to your music? The break dancer. Who's tagging, giving the arts, you know what I'm saying, providing the style? The graffiti. And then you also have the artist. The four elements of hip hop is what you actually need to say hip hop for it to be around 51 years right now, going on 52 years this year for big hip hop being around that long. So you gotta acknowledge that. I personally, like I said, one of my favorite reasons why he is one of my favorite artists is not just because what he did on the mic, but what he did behind the mic and what he continued to do behind the mic. But I just think he missed it. Heroes miss it, right? You know what I'm saying? Like Batman and Superman got into it because what? They mothers had the same name, and then they realized that and they stopped fighting. We seen that, like, really, like, you know what I'm saying? People miss it, but I think the fact is, it's like that to me. It shows you, no matter the amount of money that you got, you can still miss it. You know what I'm saying? And still be who you are.
Right.
Yep. And being who you are, man. Look, man. You know what I'm saying? You are who you are, player. You were who you were before you got here. And that
That's
is a
right.
quote by Sean Corey Carter, aka Jay-Z.
Hey.
Moving back along, though, you know what I'm saying? Let's dive right into this millennial. What you got for the millennial topic, Don?
But actually, we're
'Cause,
gonna keep talking about rappers, man. Like, yep, definitely give love and shout out to Jay Z, man. He has put out some good music that I listened to growing up. Uh, I just stopped listening after a while. But
I feel you.
somebody whose music I don't really stop listening to, well, I guess kind of in a way I have to. But Ice Cube, man, right? Like Ice Cube, we were talking about him a couple weeks ago, and there are some things that just flashed on to me this weekend. Because he's still active, and this is what I mean by like actors being active or musicians being active for their age, right? Like Cube is still active. I was watching two things this weekend I'm gonna talk about. The first thing, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because I am a huge fan of the Mutant Ninja Turtles since the late 80s. And
Yeah.
I stopped watching as an adult because, right, it's like I could only flash back so far. A lot of the cartoons that are coming out now are more for the kids, right? They got a Nickelodeon one or whatever. But I saw one on Netflix this weekend, and it had the artwork that was similar to the Spider-Man Spider-Verse artwork, and it was called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
Yeah.
And
Mutant
it
Man.
was dope, right? It was a very good movie because the animation was just like the animation from Spideyverse, which I really
Yeah.
like. But Ice Cube, main villain, right? They brought in the Fly, one of the bad guys, as the toys of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles growing up. If you had toys, there was the
Mm.
Fly and the Manta Ray and all these different ones that were featured in this show, which was cool because no, most of the time you only get to see like Bebop or Rocksteady as the bad guys, But It was Ice Cube. He was playing the voice of the Fly the whole time, man. And he brought gangster to the Fly, yo. It was a
Of course.
gangster Fly. He brought that sympathy for the bad guy, just trying to look out for his family and stuff, you know. And
Yeah.
I saw him in Anaconda too, also. But did you guys see this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie? Probably not. But did you guys see this movie at all by any chance?
Mutants of Mayhem. Yes, I
Mm-mm.
did see it. And I really liked it because of the fact that, like you said, it had a little bit of like a street. It wasn't like corny. It was a little bit of street to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Me and
was
my
a
kids
little hood
watched
family, man.
it. Yeah. And they had a lot more celebrities in it. I think Seth Farland was in it
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah. I didn't want to write down the list of everybody who
Yeah.
was in it, you know. But
Right.
I
But
could do that on a different day, man. Yeah, that was dope.
no doubt. But I think what it did was it pretty much gave us that nostalgia for us, but with our not it was like a blend. We've seen these characters in other movies that were
Mhm.
entertaining, and for them to be a voice of a character we grew up with that
Yeah.
was a part of our childhood,
Mhm.
amazing.
I think it
Really
really
amazing.
did a good job reaching the Gen Zs with that one too, man. Like I would, because the animation it seems like the animation of the future, right?
Mhm.
And they're making it for them, right? It's being made for them and the Gen Alphas. So like, and I'm glad to be seeing it and be a part of it personally because I like this new animation. Is dope. I really
Yeah.
am impressed with it. But another thing that I saw this weekend was the new Anaconda movie that's on Netflix as well with Jack Black, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
that's number one on Netflix right now. It's been number one for a few days now, and I finally got around to watching it. It was a really good movie, right? And I had no idea that they were going to have a couple cameos at the end, man. They had an Ice Cube cameo in this
I was
motherfucker,
Yeah, they
so
man.
did.
excited. I was so excited when he came out.
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
Yeah.
The
I
flare
saw
gun,
it.
popping the flare guns at the snake, man. He said he had to go back and get his crew again. He playing the role, trying to save his family, right? Trying to save his family. J Lo had a little thing at the end of it, man. Tell me you guys saw this movie, right?
I
Bobby,
did.
you saw
I
it.
Yeah.
did.
I
I
saw it.
Tell
saw
I
it
me
in
saw
the
it
about this
this
theaters.
movie.
weekend.
Bobby,
Mhm.
you go first, and then Corey, man. What was your favorite scene that you could remember at least? We'll start there.
Um. Oh my gosh! It actually kind of happened in the beginning when they first started, like filming everything, and the guy had his like pet snake and stuff.
Oh,
And I don't know when Jack Black did something, and it went, and it was gone. It was
yeah.
gone. Like he just completely messed up like the whole shoot and everything. Oh my gosh!
All
Neither
red.
both me and my daughter were sitting there going, oh, at the screen when it happened.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
No, yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Um, Let me just tell you, okay? I don't know what a quitch was, but I was like, damn it, they did that thing good, boy. Because the storyline, okay, so here's the thing. I got the sneak preview to see this movie, and I was like, Anaconda, they just rebooting it. Then I saw Jack Black, and then I saw my guy
Paul,
from Ant-Man, Paul
Paul,
Rudd. I was like,
All red.
oh, this is
I
probably
like
gonna
I like
be
Paul Rudd.
funny. This was gonna be
Mhm.
funny, but I didn't get a chance to get to it, right? So then I was like, every time I saw the commercial, I just bust up. I don't know, was it the one when the guy was running with the pig on the
With the
back
pig.
when Jack was running,
Yes.
and then the pig woke up,
Yeah. Oh my God.
and then, and so I was like, okay,
That
I
was my
guess
favorite
this
that
part
is
of
was
the movie.
that was so
right.
funny.
Yeah. That was the
And
only
so
part where
then,
I laughed like so I literally laughed out loud, man.
But
yeah,
you know what? Even though Anaconda, I think it was supposed to be have a comedic effect in it because of Paul Rudd and Jack Black. There was still a
yeah,
couple of times there we were like, oh, we had a little
yeah,
couple
you
of
got
jump
the little
scares in
like,
there. Couple of
yeah,
jump
because when they
scares
were
in
in
there.
that van, and I was like, they was like, what
And
is
those
that?
eyes came in.
Yeah, and then they just threw up the guy, the snake handler. But no, did y'all laugh when the snake got killed? I laughed when the snake got killed. When the little when he was like, you got to put the snake close to your face. You got to
Yeah.
put it. And he was like, oh no, he threw it overboard. And then the blade just ripped up
Oh, that snake. Oh my
and then
god.
they had to, although we go to the end of the road. Okay, yeah. I was like, this movie is too hilarious. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my god, this was hilarious. I really wish I would have saw it at the theater. I really did because I love going to a movie theater and laughing my butt off. I laughed here too. My wife
Yeah.
was looking at me like, you crazy because she didn't want to watch a movie like that because snakes does stuff to her.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, this right here was hilarious.
For me, I was thinking at first I wasn't liking. I was thinking it was kind of corny. I learned that like although Paul Rudd is a good actor, I don't like Paul Rudd anymore, man. Like he's the role of the stupid guy, is like he does that very well, but I'm just so tired of that fucking role, man. For men, and it's just like stupid guy. Oh, blah, 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 But anyways, once they had that little part where, yeah, Jack Black got he had the pig. He woke up. First, he woke up. I was like, "Oh shit!" He woke up, right? Yeah, the pig woke up, and I laughed out loud. I was like, "Oh my god! All right, they got me, right?"
Yeah.
And so, like, that was the first time I actually like laughed in the movie, right? But then I laughed my ass off during that part. But then when Ice Cube came in, and
Yeah.
he came in popping off those flare guns, I was like,
Players.
"Oh shit!"
Yeah.
This is one of the
Mhm.
best movies I've seen in 2026 so far, just
Yeah.
because of that scene alone, And then J
Right.
Lo comes in at the end too,
At
right?
the
And
end.
there's they're gonna make a real movie, right? Like apparently they're really talking about making an Anaconda 2 with The Rock apparently being in it, and J Lo's gonna come back and shit. And so
Wow.
if you guys watch the Anaconda movie at the end, where J Lo comes in and asks the Jack Black character if he wants to direct the role, like
Yeah.
the tie-in is already there, man.
Yeah.
So
Man.
I give it 2 thumbs up. If you guys, it's number one on Netflix for a
Yeah.
reason right now, man. And
Yes. Yeah.
definitely Ice Cube putting in that work again. Like I'm so impressed with this man's work ethic. Two
I'm gonna
movies I
have to
had no.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to rewatch it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm
It's
probably gonna do
definitely
it too,
worth.
man.
What you know what? What makes y'all want to watch rewatch movies that you guys had a good experience? Like me, sometimes it's the laugh for me. Is I need a good
Yeah,
laugh, so I'll go watch a comedy. And I didn't really used to be like that. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I saw the movie already. I don't want to see it again. Until
yeah,
like I don't know. It's just like some superhero movies do that for me too.
yeah,
But sometimes it's a comedy that make me want to just rewatch a movie all over again and just relive that laugh. What
yeah.
does that for you guys? What movie do you guys think you can just watch over and over again?
It wasn't a movie for me, but I had that with the Chappelle Show. Like if I had the
No.
Chappelle Show collection, I could watch that over and over and over.
Yeah.
Over. Like I want to watch this back for that Jack Black scene again because that was fucking hilarious, man. And I'm sure there's normally things that you missed the first time, but yeah, you're right. Like this one wasn't one of those deep movies where you got to go back and watch. Like I've been watching more Avengers stuff again lately, and like I'm still finding stuff like, damn, I didn't realize that. Like, oh, damn, I missed
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
part, right? Like, how did I
Yeah.
miss this? Sure.
Right. What about you, Bobby?
So I like whenever they do remakes, but only if you get it right. Because I've seen some remakes. I'm like, first of all, that ain't even necessary.
Mm.
I'll give you an example after I finish what I was going to say. So I do like that they did the Anaconda remake. At first, I thought it was a little bit corny, but I was like, man, the only thing that's going to make this good is when they tie it into the original. So that means when they bring original cast characters, they do some sort of a shout out or a piece memorizing somebody from the actual movie. Because whenever they make, some of those movies like the Anaconda one, I think was from like the early 2000s and stuff, right? So I
97.
was I was still
Yeah.
okay. So see, 97. I was 10 years old when it came out.
Yeah.
I'm thinking back to when I remember seeing it in my living room and seeing the boat go through the river. Now the original Anaconda was a little definitely
Yeah.
a lot of jump scares there.
It was a scare. I think it was a thriller, the original
Yeah, it
one.
was not
Maybe
a comedy.
no,
It
maybe
was
maybe
not
it
a
was more like a suspense because it wasn't a
Okay.
scary
Nah, it
movie,
was
but
action. Yeah, it was
definitely a
Yeah.
suspense and action definitely and
action
stuff. It
thriller.
was it was good, and I remember I took my daughter with me just recently when she and I had seen it. Husband was out of town, so she and I did a movie date night, and we went to go see Anaconda. So we're enjoying it, but what she doesn't know is when I had seen the original, right? I liked J Lo and Ice Cube. I liked the whole vibe for the whole crew, right? And so when he came out, I was like, no freaking way, no freaking way. I had to be the only person in the movie theater shouting that because I was so excited to see him. And I was like, yes, yes. I was
Yeah.
like, my daughter's like, I don't get it. I was like, that's Ice Cube. She's like, Ice Cube. I was like, oh my gosh, I failed as a parent. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, from Friday. She's like, Mom, I don't know what that stuff is. I'm like,
You haven't watched. Well, she's
maybe
probably too
it's
young for
good.
Friday
Oh, hold
still.
on a second. Maybe it's good that you don't. I'm pretty positive I
Yeah,
shouldn't have been watching Friday
yeah.
when I was, but from the beginning of what I was saying, one of those movies that like they could have done a good job to just not remake it was a fan favorite, Ghostbusters.
Mm.
I love the Ghostbusters movie, but when they remade it with like the all female cast, like in my opinion, like that just wasn't necessary. Now, one of the very last Ghostbusters that came out was really good when it was not
They
Dan
brought
Paul
Bill
Rudd.
Murray
Aykroyd,
back.
but the
Paul
guy
Rudd.
the no, was Paul Rudd in that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in it. The young girl was in it. They brought back the
Yeah.
OGs. Bill Murray
Yeah.
and Dan Aykroyd
So
came
right,
back.
right, right. So Bill
Winston.
Murray, Dan Aykroyd. So whenever you show pieces of like the original characters and they play a tie-in role to the current Ghostbusters, that made it fantastic. And I remember seeing that one in the theaters. I was like, okay, now this was worth watching. This
Yeah,
was good
I
because
didn't catch it in the theaters, but yeah,
it
it was a
was
great movie.
Beckman, I think something like that was the grandfather, right? And so these were his grandchildren.
Yeah.
They even brought back the OG douchebag, the redhead guy, as the OG douchebag. You
Hmm.
know,
I
he
haven't
went
saw it
right back
yet, but
into
I
that
know
role.
about it.
Yeah,
I didn't
Yeah.
like the all girl one either, personally. I
I
didn't
know.
like the kid one either, but the
I didn't
kids.
like the yeah.
Mm.
That one either. But you know,
I,
Slimer was in there, so
how
all
far
good.
did the Ghostbusters go? Did the original? Did it go? I know it went past two. I only
Hmm.
saw part two. On
Then
one
they
and
went
two.
into the cartoon. They had the cartoon Ghostbusters for a long time during the 90s.
Okay. Yeah, man. Such a
They probably
good
didn't come back until they came back with the girl one. That was probably like 3. I think that was part 3.
right. Okay. Okay. Man, it's something about just like I get it why they remake movies.
Nah, Anaconda
Because
got it right, man. With this one that we were just talking about, like, because the whole entire buildup of it was like they were talking about doing these goddamn remakes to Anaconda. Like, and they were going to do a
yeah,
remake to Anaconda, and that's all it's about, right? And that's exactly what it's all about. They called it like they're
yeah. And
exposing it
remember we
for
talked
what it
about it.
is.
We talked about people growing up and wanting to remake their movies that they fell in love with. And that's
Yep.
what they did. And
Or
I
just lazy writers.
yeah.
Nobody's creating anything new.
Right. And you see what happened to the real set of the Anaconda that actually
Yeah.
it got messed up and it was like it was a fake set. I mean, it was a real set, and he didn't even have the other guy didn't have the rights to it. It's a great movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, before after you like, comment, and subscribe, go turn on your Netflix and watch Anaconda with Paul Rudd and Jack Black. Great
And Ice
family
Cube.
and Ice
And
Cube and J
J-Lo.
Lo.
J-Lo.
Yep. But you know what I'm
That's it,
saying?
man.
But to me, do y'all think we living in a bubble because we like these movies? Because you know what I'm saying? Do just because we like remakes of our old movies, do
It's a
that
hit
make
and
us
miss.
corny?
It's a
Do
hit and
that
miss.
you know what I'm saying? Bobby, I want you to tap in on this on the parenting topic. You know what I'm saying? Because you obviously you have girls, right? You know what I'm saying? And you just mentioned something that he was like, I felt as a parent because my kids don't know Ice Cube. But then you think about it, it's like, I think it's a good thing they don't know Ice Cube.
Well, like
So are we the corny parents of this? And you know what I'm saying? Are we them back then? Have we became them? The
yes,
parents that we used
I
to
think we
tell?
have. Wear that badge with honor. Shine it up every once in a while.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But
We are.
I,
I guess we are. We're those corny parents now. I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that.
you all right? Don, do you think you're that corny adult? You know what I'm saying? That you know what I'm saying? Back when you were like 15, 16, right? And you would see an adult that like it would seem like he was a square. Do you think you're that square now? Or you just feel like
Nah. But
nah?
I do come off with some corny ass dad jokes. I got a bunch of corny dad jokes.
Right. But do you stand in it or do you be like fall back like nah, that was corny?
Nah, I stand in it. I do it deliberately most of the time. But nah, I still have like the tough posterior from that I had in high school, man. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of a cynical person, so I'm not, a lot of times I'm like, I
Don
don't
is
look
like,
at life the
no,
same way as a lot of people, I guess, so it's it's really hard to give you a proper answer without maybe offending you guys.
offend us, brother. Tell us.
Man,
Offend
I'll
the
tell you this,
people.
man. All I can do is take life one day at a time because when I let the negativity overcome the positivity, then I'm just sitting here in the stew of negativity, right?
Mm.
Yeah. So I should probably focus on more positive outlets. On to you though, Corey. What are your positive outlets for, for the youths? What would you give
Well,
the youths?
I guess that's what they call them, the yeets. I don't know, man. I was asking my wife. I was like, "Do you think I'm corny?" And she's like, "A little bit." And I was like, "Hmm." And then I had to ask myself, "Am I happy being the corny person that I am?"
Mhm.
Look, I accept it. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm not the fresh dad that pulls up to their kids with a Lamborghini, right? You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? I'm the dad that still has one kid in a kitty kid chair in the car, right? I play gospel music when I go pick up my kids. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I go to bed after 8:45, like 9 o'clock. I'm asleep Monday through Saturday. I don't know.
Rub it in, why don't you?
I'm just saying, like, I think I think I'm corny. You know what I'm
Well, I
saying?
think some of your jokes sometimes do come off a little cornballish, but you got a good personality, so it works better because you got a bubbly personality, man, and you
Right.
accept it. Like for me, I'm the opposite. Like you're a half full guy, and you're always gonna have positiveness, but I'm a half empty type guy, right? Like you're gonna be saying some shit, something greater, than I'm just gonna come and shit all over it.
So what
And
you
I own
saying?
that, right? It's like you're saying, like I own that. It's not the most positive thing to own, but that's what makes me me. Sometimes I give you the viewpoints that most people don't. You know.
Right. And I can accept that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, thank you. I said,
Because it's nothing but love, nothing but mother loving love, nothing but some mother loving love, right? And I
I have empathy. I'm cynical, but I have a lot of empathy. Which makes me a good guy.
and it's appreciable too.
That is true.
Appreciable.
What about you,
Right.
Bobby? Give me some more advice though for these kids, man. What else?
Mm, what else are we? What else are we looking at as far as? Are you talking about like being the corny parent?
Yeah, is being a corny parent good for kids? Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I think at some point it is because your kids, even if it, like I would say, even if it embarrasses them in the moment, there's going to come a point where they're going to look back on and be like, man, like this is a good memory that I have. Even if I was embarrassed in the moment, it was funny, but it was genuine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't do it on purpose, but um, I absolutely love to dance. It's something just automatically in my, and I think it's just our culture because I'm not alone because my sisters are the exact same way. And before social media came out and everything, we danced and we danced well. And my daughter, I was trying to show her how we dance to like Selena, how we do cumbias, and she's like, I can't move my hips like that. How are you doing that? And I was like, years of practice, baby, years of practice. And then we had gone to a quince for a friend of hers, and they had good music. And she's standing around with her friends. I by myself with a couple of other parents. I was out there on the dance floor, and I think I really embarrassed her. And it wasn't purposely. It was
Right.
just like you're missing out on a good time because you're too busy trying to look cool.
Cool. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I
Not
That's
am
me.
one.
teenagers
I'm
though. That's all
I know.
Yeah.
I was like,
teenagers.
Look.
that's past that, but
Yeah.
it
I
is
I,
feel
what it
bad.
is.
I did that to my mom one time. Like she came to try and support me at my first track meet, and she came with a sign and everything. She was all yelling and stuff, and I kind of got embarrassed because I had never, experienced that before. So I went over, like, "Hey, mom, can you calm down a little bit?" And She never came back, man. Because I embarrassed her. So I was
Oh
like,
damn.
but
Mm.
like, you know, that's like, you gotta appreciate that courtiness because she went out there. She would have been my biggest fan. I bet. You know, like
She made a
so
sign,
supportive.
brother. You know how
Yeah,
much
right.
time,
Like
energy, and attention she did.
my ignorant ass teenagers, like, oh, mom, you're embarrassing me. Stop. Right. Like
Right, right.
teenagers don't appreciate that stuff, man. I love you, mom. I thank you for that. That was cool.
Yeah,
I should have
man.
appreciated it more.
Well, here's the thing. The good thing is you're able to tell her that right now, and that's a blessing
Yeah.
and an amazing thing. You know what I'm saying? But to spin some gears real quick, we were supposed to talk about this, but we had to go ahead and skip an episode. But we're gonna get back to it like water and fluid, like my boy Don drinking. Afroman has been in the news. Now, I'm be honest with you. I was introduced to Afroman from Because I Got High. And
Mhm.
Me too.
that was as far as it went with me.
Me
But
too.
you know what I'm saying? When I started seeing him, and I was like, is this the Because I Got High guy? And I was like, I guess the brother man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He kind of corny, okay? He kind of corny, but he got YouTube plaques based off the reviews. The man is making some business, making some nice moves. So I
He's
can't
touring
help
with
it.
Snoop. Yep.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? He got French tips on his nails. You know what I'm saying? He still got hair. I don't.
He a
So
pimp. Yeah,
I can't be mad at the man. You know what I'm
he's
saying?
pimping.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is, right?
It
American pimping,
is.
because he had that American suit on and he was marching down the aisle door. I couldn't get to it, but I was like, man. So how did he get in the media right now? Something happened. Y'all break it down to me.
Yeah, so I was watching, just different things that are trending, and something with Afroman came up, and I remember thinking about the song Because I Got High. I was like, that had to have been his only, he was considered like a one-hit wonder, but he
Yeah.
does have a very distinct voice. I will say that. So, he'd come up on the news recently because back in August 2022, the Adam County Sheriff's Department over in Ohio raided his house. And so I was like, what the heck? What is going on, right? And so they had a judge sign off that they had enough probable cause to raid his house for drug trafficking and kidnapping. All right. And so that's kind of what started everything. And so I'm looking around, I'm like, what is happening with this case? By the way, you can go on YouTube and you can go and see the testimony in the cases. It's like it was all live. It's wild to watch. All right.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, that's kind of what started everything. Well, they raided his house, and I'm like, what in the world would have caused this to happen? They said they will not publicly disclose where the complaint came from, but all of this was on allegations. But
It was
here's
his
the thing:
life.
it's possible, but the thing is, they said that whenever they have a judge sign off, just enough for somebody to say that there's possible kidnapping when there's people involved. That's enough for a judge to sign off and say, okay, there's probable cause. At least go investigate. That's all they said. But while they went in, they did some damages. Okay,
Mm.
they said the damages were about $20,000 worth of damages, and so um, Afroman did what Afroman does. He's an artist at the end of the day. He's a very creative artist, right? And so he made a song called Lemon Pound Cake. And obviously Lemon Pound Cake, it's got like over 5 million views. It's wild, depending on what streaming platform you've looked at it on. It's a pretty funny song.
Right.
Kind of catchy. In there he's showing like actual footage from his personal home security. This is key. His personal home security footage
Right.
of the officers coming into the home, and he's pretty much talking crap about them in the song, right? And
Right.
so those seven different sheriff's deputies end up trying to sue him, right? They bring on a lawsuit for defamation,
Mm.
right? And so just long story short, what ends up happening is they're on the stand crying about how this song has harmed them, caused a divorce, and all this other stupid stuff. It's kind of funny because you're like, give me a break.
Right.
And anyways, you're gonna have to go and check it out on YouTube. So they're going over the different parts of the case, and what ends up happening. Afroman wins the lawsuit
Mm,
because it ends up it would be infringing on his First Amendment rights of free speech, and that
okay.
includes criticizing government officials. You cannot get in trouble for that.
Mm.
And because he used his own personal home security footage, it wasn't something that he got from an outside source. It was his own personal stuff.
Right. So it's his
They
property.
couldn't. It was his personal property,
Yeah.
and even though he used it in a creative way to make fun of them, which he did, um, and it's funny because if you go and watch the lemon pound cake song, there's an officer like really eyeballing that lemon pound cake that from his grandma's recipe on the counter. It's pretty funny. It got a lot of views and
They
everything.
got people
So
coming up to him now because he's still making new videos and stuff, right? Ladies are bringing him
mhm,
lemon pound cake. He got a video out there. This lady came and brought him a lemon pound cake. So
yeah.
people
Wow.
are starting to give him lemon pound cakes.
So now his name is kind of back on top of the list because you remember when Afroman came out, the Because I Got High was like in 2000. So that was way before, YouTube. He
Yeah.
was an independent artist, but now if he had come out with that song now, it probably would have blown up even more because at the time, he didn't have the type of marketing available kind of like you do now.
Yeah. I
What do
think
y'all think?
I think he's genius. He took an opportunity, especially the fact that he won too. He
Mhm.
took it, he saw an opportunity, took it, and then the fact that being in social media, he knows how to work it because that's how he was able to get because I got high so big and so culturally accepted around that time where it wasn't like you said, there was no social media, but there was like word of mouth, mainstream. So he used what he got, and now damn near 30 years later, he back in the mix and making money because I mean, if he got 5,000 views on YouTube and things of those natures, he's getting some money. So you got enough to buy him some lemon pound cake,
He's
baby.
getting us views too, man. This is one of my
Yeah.
highest viewed clips. That American flag suit got me a lot of views. The goddamn
Oh
American
yeah,
flag suit.
Yeah.
I liked that American flag. So I was like, okay, that's pretty nice. I
I
like
didn't
it.
get it at first because he was wearing it in so many different things. But after thinking about it, like, yeah, a lot of people probably forgot, like me, who he was, and what a way to make you remember who he was and forever remember who he is.
Yeah.
A guy with a
Yeah.
big ass afro and an American flag suit,
Hmm.
some American flag Ray Bans, right? And I got the rest of those songs he put out if y'all want those, man.
Yeah, go ahead. Give us the title because I want to know about him.
Yeah, man. So Lemon Pound Cake was a good one. The one that he's getting the most interaction on right now is Randy Waters is a son of a bitch, right? You know, the,
Randy Waters is one of the sheriff's deputies.
yeah, right. And he talks about how he's a son of a bitch, how he had sex with his wife, and that's how he got rich. And so you see him in court. That's the cop up there. He's crying like, "Oh, he said he had sex with my wife." And then the judge or the someone was like, "Well, do you know if he had sex with your wife?" And he was like, "I don't know, maybe." So another song he made was Brian New. Here, I wrote that shit down, man, for myself. Brian Newland is a flag. Okay, it's flag. Brian Newland is a flag. Brian
Oh.
Newland is a flag. Then we got Lick 'em Low Lisa. That was a popular one because it's Lick 'em Low Lisa. Lick
Oh
'em
my
Low
gosh.
Lisa, which is another cop. Then you got a Who's Gonna Fix My Gate? It's gonna
Oh
be a
yeah,
chart
who's gonna
topper,
fix
right?
my gate?
Right.
you know. And then of course there was a Mama's Lemon Pound Cake. Yep, those are
Mm.
his top five, and he's still putting out new shit, man. He's riding the wave.
Hey.
Riding the
I like it.
wave.
I
Yeah.
like it. He's using a new type of marketing, that he didn't have available to him in the early 2000s. So
Yeah.
good job,
Look, I'm
Afro Man.
Lisa.
I look, man.
These lawsuits are funny.
He's a prime
Mhm.
example of somebody who's turning a situation into opportunity. Boy, you know what I'm saying?
Very creative.
I ain't
Yep.
mad at that.
Mhm. And I love seeing people win lawsuits that are, just stupid. It's a waste of money to try to stop somebody from being able to speak freely,
Yeah.
about something that happened to them. He's
Right.
not causing any ruckus. There was a cop up there crying on the stand saying that his wife divorced him, and they only had one person that they were able to interview, and it was the wife. And she was like, "Nope, it
Nope.
had nothing to do with the song. Like their whole case
Mhm.
fell apart, fell
Yeah.
apart right in front of them. Go back to YouTube, go check it out."
Poor Officer Lisa was sitting there crying the whole time because they
Oh
were
my
playing the
gosh.
song "Lick 'em Low, Lisa," and she's sitting there just like, "Oh my god, oh my god." But yeah,
Crazy.
Afroman was right. They brought it on themselves. If they would have never did what they did, they wouldn't have given him the opportunity to do what he is doing.
Yeah.
So the
And
one
yeah,
time where
man.
being a cop backfires.
Well, see,
Mhm.
that's the thing, man. I think a lot of people who try to get over on people, they don't actually know who they messing with. Because you
Lick 'em
may
low,
just mess
Lisa.
with the wrong one who got the right time. And if they got the right time, they gonna play you. And
Yeah,
then the next thing you know, you're gonna be calling the po-po. You feel
for
me?
real, right? You gotta have that. Woo, 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 woo.
You know what I'm saying? And
I
then
remember Medea, call a popo ho.
yeah, call the
Yeah.
po-po, call the po-po, ho. Yep, yep, yep. But look, man, I truly think, like, real talk, like, we've learned a lot this episode. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, from Afroman taking advantage of an opportunity because things could go sideways when the police break into your house. You know what I'm saying? That's something that you definitely. I mean, like, you get scared. And he right. They broke his gate. They broke his door. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They
He
took
got to
apart his
replace
camera
that.
system and left it on the table and didn't even like take it in, but
Yeah.
disabled it.
Also, so you know what? They seized a bunch of cash, is what I
Took his
read,
money.
and one of the things was that he had seen one of the female deputies, I think, taking some of that cash and pocketing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when they gave him the money back, he was still short $400, he says.
Hmm.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? It's like, look, you don't know who you messing with. It's like on them shows. You steal from me. You know who you stealing from? You know who you stealing from?
Hmm.
Apparently not, because Afro Man and got you. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
It's all a
All the way.
distraction, ultimately,
Yeah.
man. There's all this shit that we're talking about and all the stuff we're seeing in the media is a distraction to keep us from focusing on what the fuck's really going on in the world. There's a lot of
True.
bad stuff and people dying all over the world.
Yeah.
But we're talking about Afro Man because he made some tight songs, bro. He made some good chart toppers, man. These are
Yeah.
some chart
I'm
And
all
toppers.
thinking to myself, are we getting our tinfoil hats ready? I
I
got
know,
Yeah,
one right
right?
right,
here.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But no, you
Yeah.
made a good point. There's a lot of bad things going on in the world. But the thing about it is sometimes you need to turn that off and turn into something that's going to get you, you know what I'm saying, some news that you can
Positive.
use.
Yeah.
Right. And I truly appreciate that you guys tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a chance to talk about Anaconda, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that Tiger Wood flipping over on a DUI, Jay-Z talking about hip hop. And then, of course, you know what I'm saying? Afro Man. Because I got high. Because I got high.
La, da, da, da,
Yeah.
da.
So in wrapping it up, Bobby, tell the people what they can get from you in the Bear County.
Yeah, just like my friend Corey said, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. And hey, listen, if you're in the San Antonio, Bear County area or any of the surrounding counties, please let me know if you have any issues with a water heater, a leaky fridge, a toilet, whatever that looks like. If you begin to start having any type of water damage, let us know. We are Patriot Restorations. We are here to help you and your family stay happy, safe, and healthy. Reach out to us. Let us know as soon as possible. You can hit me up on IG at bobby.lopez.5. Speaking of water, OG Millennial, let them know what you got.
Yep. I clean swimming pools and spas. And if you guys got questions because you own a swimming pool or a spa, go ahead and contact me here at O_G_millennial. And I can get you some questions answered and some quotes. I also doing another separate little podcasting show. So you can also join here at Millennial Nation Worldwide, or let's go to Instagram and Facebook, OG Millennial. You'll get the same content there as well. Posting all types of millennial stuff. A lot of the stuff that we talked about today, I covered some of the stuff too, man. So it's good entertainment.
Yep, yep. Good entertainment. And with that being said, it's your main man with the game plan, Corey Giovanni, and check it out. If you're looking to go ahead and start a business or want to start a podcast, or you're a coach but need to understand how to be able to grab your customers and your clients, tap in with me in the link below. We help build frameworks over at Core ENT, not just something that you get and go. We coach you through the process. I do have coaching services available for you to help you get up and get out and get your first client. Until then, it's your main man with the game plan, Corey Giovanni, signing out with the fam from Technically Speaking News, that's giving you news
That you can use.
that you can use. And on that note, we are out. Peace.
Say.